Welcome back, everybody, to Nick and Trav. I'm Nick.
I'm Trav.
And we are back in it again in Mechanicus. Going to do another mission for Kefra. A unit of Skitari escorting a topographical surveying device has become trapped in the tomb of has requested a cohort reach the unit and save the Oculus Topographus. Find and save the Oculus Topographus. Alright, we got a new slot, a new Skitari, and some motherfucking Blackstone. Let's go. Alright, so we upgraded our new tech priest.
Ready
Probably
to kick some ass.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna make him a healer. But 3 tech priests, here we go. And let's see here, let's try out 1 Vanguard. Because they cost 2 cogs to deploy.
Oh, and they cost money to the Blackstones to use too.
Yeah, exactly. So they cost a little bit. Alright, so we got the 9. There should be a 6. There it is. Alright, so we got the 9, the 6, and some HP. Alright. Alright, let's get it on.
Get on.
We have a problem, man. It is doubtful you would seize my attention with such... Or are they going to plan, Subdomino? One of my Skitari units is escorting an Oculus Topographus and use fuller interior scans of the tomb of Egrolach. They have become bogged down by Necron attacks and are cut off. They will surely perish if we do not get them immediate support. And the Oculus? It will be lost too. And yes, I am aware it is worth a lot more than any of my soldiers' lives.
Feels good to hear you, try and pronounce stuff after my 80 days run through.
And the last communications from the Skitari said they were under heavy fire and trying to prepare a defensive position. Since then, they've gone dark. They're either dead, or the architecture of the tomb is interfering with their comms again. Both possibilities reduce the percentage chances of the Oculus Topographus being recovered. It's why I need your tech priest on this, Manos. We have to move with speed and a hell of a lot of firepower. That I can't supply. We advance immediately. Yes, Magos. Thank you, Magos. Alright. Upper left.
What are we looking at? Let's see the map.
So we got all this.
Okay. Let's go left.
One left. Not a good sign for it to have become separated. Perhaps it was damaged by enemy fire. In any case, it might contain some useful data. A malfunctioning servo skull drops around this chamber, trailing sparks. It looks like one that accompanied the unit escorting the Oculus Topographica. Do we want to acquire it, recover the servo skull, and return it to the Catus Metaclan for recycling? Do we want to secure or search the chamber before trying to recover the servo skull? Enemies may near be by, and extract the data medium chip, and leave the skull itself behind. And may have become contaminated with Xenos data.
Let's acquire.
Alright. Servo skull proves rather more alert and mobile than first appeared and zooms around the chamber erratically, evading capture. Finally, it spins out and shatters against the wall into dozens of bone fragments. The fruitless pursuit takes up time the cohort can ill afford to have wasted. You wasted time.
Hey. No.
Alright.
Let's go left.
You just left?
Yep.
You want that glyph?
Maybe later.
Okay. Alright. Chamber head is covered in dust and debris, which clearly show the tracks of the Oculus Topographica. It is clear it went this way, and the trail it left could be followed by the cohort to reach its location as quickly as possible. Avoidance. Avoid the trail entirely in case the enemy has used it to set up an ambush. Haste, follow the trail with all speed. Caution, follow the trail but slowly in case the enemy expects Mechanicus troops to be following the Skitarii unit.
Use caution.
Cohort follows the trail warily. In doing so, they give flanking Necron units the time to catch up. Gauss fires streaks from the shadows, prepping the cohort with teleported energy blasts before they could fall back away from the trail.
I'm not picking too hot today.
Our boy is just getting damaged.
Alright, let's go up.
Go up. Our presence has been detected. It's one of the Oculus Topographica's beacons. It deploys them to help it scan an area. It could already have started mapping the tomb. There could be more nearby if you think it's worth finding them. A deployable beacon lies in the intersection of the passageways. The beacon trap. The Necrons might be interested in the beacon too. Booby trap it to punish the Necrons for their inquisitiveness. Forsake for the mission. Do not search for more beacons. The data they might contain is not worth holding up the mission. Forage beacon data. Search for more beacons and recover them. The data within them might be valuable.
Set up a trap.
You doing the trap?
Yep.
Cohort places a bundle of grenades behind the beacon, primed to detonate when the data port is interfered with. However, a passing Skitarii patrol later reports the beacon gone and the trap dismantled, the cunning Nectrons having disabled the trap and taken the beacon and its data. Oh.
Wow.
Alright, where are we going?
Let's go north.
Oh. The corpse of one Skitarii squad lies in the entrance of this chamber. Evidently cut down by Necron fire while trying to provide a rear guard for the rest of his unit. Mark the passing. Pray for his mortal soil. Scavenge. Recover his gear for reuse. Cleanse. Burn the corpse and put it beyond the use of the enemy.
Cleanse?
Cohort uses Promethium to soak the body and set it alight. Unfortunately, ammunition still on the corpse cooks off and explodes in a series of loud reports, giving away the cohort's position. Though the body cannot be used by the enemy for whatever strange purpose they might have for it, the cohort is now compromised.
See, they make it sound like a bad thing, but it only gave us good stuff.
Yeah.
Let's go north.
Extra Necrons in battle. Left or right, buddy?
Left.
Hey,
Yay.
it healed the wrong guy.
Yay!
Alright,
Let's finish it up.
finishing it up. New template detected. Observing. Excitement statement. How glorious the Xenos vary their weapons. Plus Tesla weapon tech. They do not show signs of Promethean flame tech, which only shows their inferior steps in technology advancement. I recall that in Xenos and the Cant version .0010101, the Xenos. Not now, Videx. I love how he fucking just cuts them off.
We don't have time for your bullshit.
We've dealt with the Immortals for a while now. They're proving to be a worthy threat. Now they have a separate weapon pattern. This is most concerning for our troops, sire. Troops are of little concern. Mission is always priority over bio life forms. Hyperion Battle Servitor armor not thick enough. Testins proving equally ineffective. Must find weakness before we're connection lost. It appears this Xenoswarm triggered a fragmented recording from Resinc. Indeed. It appears we'll have a tough time using heavily armored forces against the specimen. Maybe you can use their strength against them. Wise words, Dominus.
Cool story, bro.
Scan or destroy. Alright, so we got 2. Let's see here. Alright, you're gonna go forward. Actually, no, you're not gonna go forward. You're gonna go there. Argos. Actually, I'm gonna put you back here.
I mean, he is already down a little bit.
Yeah. But he is our melee boy, so we'll put him right here. And then we'll bring down the Vanguard. Because they got a really good carbine. Alright. Let's do this. Alright, so last episode we were talking about Fire Emblem. And I went on a rant. As I do. Oh my god, that shoots acid? Fuck.
Oh, bro.
And we were talking about how, like, well, I was ranting about how, oh shit, that was not good.
Oh my.
Alright then.
We're off to a good start.
Shit, tell me about it. Fuck. Alright, so we were talking about how Persona mechanics, to me, were not good to the, let's say, life of, Fire Emblem with the 3 houses.
Uh-huh.
Do you agree?
Potentially. We'll kind of have to see where it goes from here, but I don't agree at the moment. I really like 3 houses. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it's one of my favorite Fire Emblems. Yeah, so I don't agree, but I can understand where it could, especially turn into basically just not even a tactics game anymore, or like a very light tactics game with, you know, Persona game, high school life stuff. When, you know, who knows what else from there. I do agree. It kind of gets a lot of fluff because of it. That could, like, yeah, like I said, there's definitely fluff that is kind of added onto it just by those systems being in place. That I think is a little bit much in some cases. But as I was kind of talking about last episode, I enjoy the fact that you kind of get to pick the characters that you want to, like, you know, get relationships with, and like kind of, you know, the more you focus on them and they get more, you know, they upgrade, they get better in battle, and it's kind of like, it's more of a customizable, like, this is the team that I want to take with me, as opposed to kind of like, you know, if you want the Lance guy, then you're just going to have to go with that guy in you know, any other game, or the arrow guy has to be that one because that's the one that does it, type of thing. Now, obviously, that's not quite so simple, like, especially once units start, you know, class upgrades or whatever, then you end up with classes that either excel in one thing or they're pretty good at a couple things, and that kind of changes things up. But as far as 3 houses, you know, anyone can kind of be anything, which is pretty enjoyable for me. I don't. That's all to say. I don't quite agree with what you're talking about. I mean, not really talking about the waifu stuff so much, but that's because I didn't really play for that, and So I guess in that sense, like, I'm not super into it, but it also didn't really come across in my playthrough so much, so I didn't really care.
Okay.
So, yeah. I don't agree.
So you're just a degenerate, I get
Whatever.
it.
Someone has a different opinion, they're degenerate.
Gross.
It's not into waifus, gross.
Yeah, right. How dare you? But, I don't know, man. Like, it just... I kind of wish that they kind of just got their shit together, you know?
Well, and what does that mean? Just that they get back to basics? They only do tactics? I mean...
Well, no. Like, I mean, I like the idea of the base building. And, yeah, it wasn't Awakening, it was the other one. It was the one where it was super, like, Endo-era Japanese. I had the 2 timeline one.
Echoes, maybe?
I think so. It was the one with the corn, the dragon one.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't play. I can't think of which. That's the only name I can think of offhand. But yeah, I had multiple timelines, and then didn't that focus more on like the baby making and all that stuff?
It was really big on the baby making.
And even that is kind of interesting. I'm not sure it needed to focus on it, but you know, to have like, you know, your thief character and your, I don't know, brute character, your or archer or whatever, and then that kind of makes a weird like sort of hybrid of it. Like, that's cool, but like Awakening didn't really give a shit about it until you're almost done with the game before you really got a chance to have babies and get all of them involved and everything, so that felt a lot less offensive, I guess.
Oh. Well, see, I looked at it this way. There's a video game series called Argas. And that one focuses, it's not a turn-based, it's like a, well actually yeah, it is kind of turn-based. And it's got a little bit of an interesting like tactics gameplay-esque battle system. But in it you actually do, as the MC, you're trying to create good babies. And like your party members are kind of like the waifus of the time. And obviously, throughout the game, you do what you need to do. You kill enemies, getting experience points, and eventually you're able to make it a baby. And then it goes through the generations. So obviously, you know, once you make the baby, that current character's arc is done. And we move on to the new baby, and he or her starts their journey in the world and does what they need to do, which is good. I'm not gonna lie, it's a very interesting game. They made 3 of them, so obviously it was okay, at least within some sphere of influence. It was pretty good. I haven't played through all 3 of them. I played through the first one, and it was interesting. I liked how, you know, you have certain traits go from the father and the mother into the baby. Your stats kind of are allocated differently depending on how you do it, which I thought was really cool. And one thing I actually do enjoy about Awakening when they did that was that the support system was used to create that. Like, if you wanted a certain couple or a certain pairing to get a specific outcome for the baby, you were able to like work toward that while still playing the game. You know?
Sure. Yeah, that's pretty interesting too. That reminds me of that game you guys were playing a while back, the board game.
Kingdom Death.
Kingdom Death, yeah. And yeah, that sounds like an interesting concept. I'm not sure, kind of like story wise how that would all pan out. Because I'm assuming you must be like at that point just a silent protagonist, so it's just like you do your thing and then you have the baby and then it's just kind of like, okay, cool, now you're X. You just insert you into what's going on type of thing.
In a way, yeah.
Which I'm not completely against, but it feels disconnected, kind of, sort of. But obviously, it's cool that you get to have that customized. You're taking some of the dad, some of the mom. You're making your own thing happen, and that sounds very interesting.
I just enjoyed the fact that we're able to actually do that in some games, because I don't know if you've ever heard of Conception. It's an RPG series where you're the MC. It's kind of like a light novel thing where you're going through dungeons and creating little babies and clones, and you're doing Persona-esque daily things with your waifus. And that's another interesting one that obviously probably helped with their decision to make the baby making and awakening a thing. And I sound like I'm totally against it in Fire Emblem, which I feel, yes, I am. I am kind of really, really against it in Fire Emblem because it takes away from the core gameplay. The core gameplay to me in Tactics is you are there to do cool shit and kill every single thing on that fucking map. And you're doing God's work while you're doing it,
Well, if that's the case, then why are you for the support system, but you're against the actual end result of the baby?
For me, I look at it this way. The support system was there as like a flavor text thing, And it's like a buff. You give buffs to your units for positioning them well, keeping them near each other, and kind of like, on a battlefield, obviously, the more you work with somebody, the more you kind of get to know that person, which is cool. I'm into that, it makes sense, but I don't know, building on that, to me, I feel is kind of dumb.
Well, then how do they evolve? Because it's kind of like they could just keep making Fire Emblem games, and clearly they are, but it's also like they can't just make the same Fire Emblem game over and over and over again. Like they've added the babies, they've added the high school life, basically. What do they do without infringing upon the core tactics of it all, I guess?
Well, to me, what they can do is kind of, so the weapon wheel has been like a staple in tactics games, obviously.
Yeah.
The magic wheel, same shit. Nothing new, nothing. It's always been kind of that thing. Personally, dude, what I think they can do is I don't want to say a graphic overhaul. In Three Houses, how the encounters are no longer like a one-on-one type thing, where back in the day how the units were shown where you have your one unit and then you have the other unit and they kind of just look at each other, they do the attack, and then we go back to the field. Now it's showing full squads going at each other. which is cool. It's very interesting. I enjoyed that more than the let's just look at each other. Are we fighting? Yeah, we're fighting. Okay, cool. We're still looking at each other though, right? And he's like, yeah, we're looking at each other. Like, oh, okay. Making it work. So I want to say like maybe like a UI upgrade with this, which is what they kind of did with the new let's look at each other type shit. See if I can grab this. Let's see if I can grab that. Can I make it? One cog. Can I get it? Nope. Screw that. Oh, I'll just kill this bitch. Get fucked up.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Shazam. But yeah, like, I mean, for me, the graphics, or like just the battle system in general, could use a little bit of an upgrade. Like, add a new weapon. Like, I mean, yeah, it's traditional. You got the sword, the axe, the lance. Fucking put something else in there.
Okay.
And I mean, the bow is always neutral. It also brings down Pegasus. And I believe bows are useful against wyverns too, right?
Yeah, anything flying, I believe.
Okay. So, like, I mean, once again, yeah, bows are neutral. Then you had the magic wheel, with light and dark being good against each other, and then you had wind, fire, and no.
Like the electricity.
Wind, fire, and lightning. Yeah, there we go. Wind, fire, and thunder. Sorry. But yeah, like, I mean, those could kind of, you know, let's throw something in there. You know, like, that would be a breath of fresh air, a new weapon to the weapon wheel. To where, I mean, obviously it's gonna keep the game rock, paper, scissors, of course. But it's gonna add a new, you know, thing to rock, paper, scissors. It could be rock, paper, scissors, fucking chopstick, or party knife, or literal gun. You know, like, that would be interesting. So let's go ahead and finish this up.
Okay.
Cohort defends the location of the lost guitar unit, enabling them to move the Oculus Topographus back out of the tomb and toward the Scutari lines. The troops and the valuable serving device they escort are saved from perishing in the tomb of Allah. The squad survivors are back at our lines, and the Oculus has been salvaged. We have been set back in our exploration of the tomb of Ach, for not nearly as far as we could have been if the unit had been lost. It's the Oculus Topographus providing data. It is fully functional, although at this stage I can report nothing other than that the tomb of Ach is huge. This shall be factored into future missions. Ensure I am praised of the further developments. Sub Domina. Hey, we did it!
Yeah, baby!
Mission status 6.
Unlocking shit today.
Let's go. What do we get? Get an additional slot. We got a ranger. Level 1. And we got some black stuff. Whew! Alright.
309 clicks that time.
Shit.
I clicked it so much.
Hey, achievement unlocked. I got the ranger. New Mechanicus unlocked. Hey, 10 HP to the active unit. Nice.
Nice.
Hey, got another one. The next 2 attacks will ignore all. Oh my god. That's good.
Getting some stuff done now.
Shit. Alright. What the fuck?
Keep it going.
Collect 25 cognition points.
We got a lot that time.
Damn. We did. Holy shit. 30. God damn. Bump it.
Keep it going.
Jesus. Activate the machine spirit on all weapons. Nice. That's actually really good. Okay, this is getting ridiculous. Move a shit ton. Alright, good. I was about to say, you give me another one, I'm fucking done. I'm done.
We unlocked every achievement in the game.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, whereas the other tombs are sterile, this one is grossly fulfilled with the union of life and death. The first scouting maniples to enter are overwhelmed by the appealing stench. Appalling. Not appealing. Appalling stench. They walk straight into a charnel house. Biological remains plaster every wall and floor. Some are creatures indigenous to Silva Tenebris, but others are unmistakably human, presumably from the former colonists of St. Eckhard's Hope. The decay begins instantly as the sealed atmosphere of the tomb is breached. A metallic skittering heralds something even worse waiting in the tomb. In this pit of disease and death, even the mind of a tech priest is vulnerable before its horror. Ooh. Oh shit, we unlocked everybody. Everyone's got something now. Alright. So we got Skova. He still wants to give us a gauge increase. We got Vindex. He still wants to give us a gun and some Blackstone and this thing. Alright, we got the new Kefra. Another Skitari. Ranger Alpha. It's a more powerful Ranger. And a Blaster. Look at this thing. Holy shit. This takes 3 cogs to fire. Jesus.
That's a lot of cogs.
That is a lot of cogs.
So just to be clear, the Skitari, that's another unit, not like another minion unit, but like just a unit.
No, it's a minion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all the Skitari are minions, quote unquote.
Okay.
And then we got our new Roboy. New Power Axe. Single target. Triggers opportunity. Machine Spirit. Destroy 2 energy. Oh my god, this one destroys armor. Awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's go after that for our melee boy if that's an upgrade.
Okay, so Ro, and then we got Catrix. He wants to give us a new blaster. Field generator. Damn. Level 3, an upgrade to level 3 servitors, and our first hard mission. So this is normal, this is hard, normal, and then we got one easy. So what do you want to do?
Yeah, let's do the axe one.
Alright, so you want to do radiation burns. Damage sustained during warp transit. Force cast a suspended climb to vent much of its fuel reserve. Quartermaster Rose suggests acquiring a supply of isotopic material from the tomb for the use as fuel on the Castris Menicon. Alright. So if this is what you want to do for this next one, we'll do this one next time on Nick and Trav. So yeah.
Very cool.
Gentlemen, ladies, have yourselves a wonderful day / evening / morning. Tell somebody you love them. Like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell.
Be good to each other. Do the ding ding. Love you, buddy. Love you all.
Word.
Have a good night.
Alright, boys. Toodles.